BBC News with Sue Montgomery. Donald Trump has appeared in court in Washington and pleaded not guilty to 4 charges connected to his attempts to stay in power, despite losing the 2020 US presidential election. He entered the courtroom accompanied by his lawyers, was asked to confirm his name and age, and was read his rights before the charges were read out. No TV cameras were permitted inside. The former president spoke to reporters afterwards.
When you look at what's happening, this is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America. This is the persecution of the person that's leading by very, very substantial numbers in the Republican primary and leading Biden by a lot. So if you can't beat him, you persecute him or you prosecute him. We can't let this happen in America.
Scientists in Spain have found a naturally occurring strain of bacteria which could help stop the transmission of malaria from mosquitoes to humans. Their research suggests the bacteria could reduce a mosquito's parasite load by more than 70%. Naomi Grimley is our health correspondent.
Scientists at a GSK facility in Spain made this discovery by chance after they noticed that a colony of mosquitoes being used for drug research had stopped carrying malaria. Further studies revealed that a strain of a natural bacteria had inhibited the development of the malaria parasites in the mosquito's gut by secreting a molecule called harmane. Harmane can be absorbed by mosquitoes through contact, laying open the possibility of treating surfaces where the insects rest with an active compound.
The president of Ethiopia's Amhara region has appealed for help from the federal government as violence intensifies and spreads. Yilkal Kefale suggested the situation was out of control. Local militias have been fighting government troops in several locations. The head of an anti-drug trafficking agency in Bolivia has denied helping a suspect to evade a huge manhunt. About 2,000 Bolivian police officers are taking part in the operation to capture the alleged cartel leader, Sebastian Marcet. Here's Warren Bull.
Sebastian Marcet is accused of leading an international drug cartel known as the PCU. The Uruguayan national is wanted in several countries for alleged trafficking offences and ordering the killing of a Paraguayan prosecutor on a Colombian beach last year. But what has drawn attention to his case is that he sent a video to the media in which he said Bolivian anti-drug agents had warned him that he was about to be arrested. The raid itself uncovered a large cache of weapons in Santa Cruz, but no Sebastian Marcet, who remains at large. The drug agency chief, Ismael Vica, has denied there was a tip-off.
BBC News. Reports are coming in of an ambush and a convoy of trucks heading from Mali towards neighbouring Niger with an army escort. The French news agency quotes officials from the eastern Malian district of Menaka as saying a jihadist group led the attack, and there are fears of heavy casualties. France has condemned the suspension of its state-run radio and TV broadcasters in Niger following last week's coup, describing the move as authoritarian repression. Niger has been an important ally for France, which, like America, has a military presence there to fight jihadists in the region. Relations have soured since the coup. Pope Francis has presided over a huge open-air service in the Portuguese capital, the first large-scale gathering for World Youth Day. Hundreds of thousands of youngsters are attending the Roman Catholic event. Alison Roberts is in Lisbon.
The crowds of youngsters from around the world were delighted when Pope Francis crisscrossed the packed Lisbon park in his open-topped Pope-mobile on arriving for the welcome ceremony. Later, in his sermon, he focused on the perils of the internet, telling his audience that God is not a search engine and that they must connect with others in the real world. Earlier in the day, the pontiff visited Lisbon's Catholic University, where he urged students to be restless and take risks, and a school that's part of a global network he himself founded, aiming to foster understanding between pupils from diverse backgrounds.
The Somali government has suspended a sports official for nepotism after a novice sprinter was allowed to compete in an international competition. The chair of the Somali Athletics Federation, Khadijo Aden Dahir, will be subject to legal proceedings. The sprinter, Nasra Abubakar Ali, took nearly twice as long to finish as the winner. BBC News.